Instead of the broad summer, we have the offline summer this year. This, alongside the recent rise in popularity of analog media, digital detoxing, and offline boyfriend TikTok trend, it feels like being offline is a new cool. I want to explore this phenomenon today because this goes far beyond the offline summer, as oversaturation of the social media by the influencer and AI-created content has led to the lack of authenticity online, and also it's kind of becoming normal to be considered cool when you're offline.
Aware of the disappointed Cillian Murphy meme on the internet?
The what?
The disappointed Cillian Murphy meme.
I don't know, it's a meme.
But there's so much more to explore in this video. I want to talk about posting zero and social media in you, or why does it seem like none of your friends post online anymore, performative nature of social media, or how does social media contributes to us being less social, going offline as a class indicator, and the overarching theme of this video is how does going offline is social capital, aka status symbol. So let's go. Social media is constantly changing. The era of early Twitter and Instagram, when we just posted random shots of our lives, seems long gone. Now we have only well-curated feeds or nothing at all. In his essay, Are You Experiencing Posting in You in the New Yorker, Kyle Chaika writes, "Lately, I found myself missing the breakfast photo and its equivalents online. There don't seem to be as many people casually sharing random moments from their lives. In fact, doing so doesn't make much more sense anymore. And it's a little hard to believe it ever did." And this shift isn't random because social media is changing and is in a different place than it was 5 or 10 years ago. Now we have algorithmic feed and not chronological feed, so we don't see so much what our friends are posting, and we see what algorithm thinks we will like. Algorithm prioritizes the content that is usually commercial content or content that is advertised, because that's how social media runs. It runs on the advertisement, and that's what brings them money.
Senator, we run ads.
I see.
I think we're far from posting zero trend that would mean that we would completely stop posting and just indulge ourselves into practice of voyeurism. But I think how we engage online still has changed, as now people are turning into more curated spaces like close community groups or private chats with friends, or close friend stories and private accounts. In 1964, Marshall McLuhan, in his book Understanding the Media, wrote that the medium is the message. In the context of social media, it means that the platforms themselves shape our behavior and not the content that we see on them. In case of social media right now, it seems like they are prioritizing brands as their users. Therefore, we see way more branded and commercialized and perfect content.
Remember that the internet is only free because it is supported by advertising. And brands aren't going to be happy that now all the most important moments are happening outside of their reach. So the natural next step is that they are going to follow users into these private spaces, which you can see already with platforms increasingly allowing brands to enter their users' DMs.
And social media becoming less about connecting with people as it was earlier, but more about commercializing ourselves and commercializing our personal online brands. No wonder that in this environment we feel burnt out and we don't feel like social media is authentic anymore. But is it even possible to stay authentic on social media? Posting online is a very performative act, and from the start we're looking at ourselves from the perspective of others. That makes me think of the concept of the male gaze in cinema, introduced by film theorist Laura Mulvey in 1975. The theory started from the portrayal of women in cinema, and Mulvey pointed out that women in cinema were portrayed in objectifying and limited ways in order to normalize and perpetuate patriarchy society standards. That goes beyond that and can be expanded to describe how women are taught to perceive themselves. That is through the lens of perceptions of others, and yes, mainly men. And I think social media didn't invent this dynamic, but it amplified it. I was not surprised to see that nearly 70 to 80% of the influencers on social media are actually female. This isn't just about gender. It seems like we have a performance culture everywhere, either performative reading in coffee shops or performative cinephilia on Letterboxd with top 4 watched movies that will create a certain impression about you to others, or even posting a photo dump on Instagram. Seemingly random pictures together have specific formula on what to post and what order to appear. to appear cringe or cool. Authentic content has become commodified content, and it goes even beyond social media. It's like how you appear on LinkedIn or on your dating app. It's all part of it, and you can benefit or not from it. Maybe that's why people are quitting social media, because it's like a constant performance for others without even being connected to them. But can it be that quitting itself is also an act or a part of that performance? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I actually should tell you that if you like my content and if you want to watch more videos about film, fashion, or cultural trend like this one, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will go back to my reading. Bye. French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu introduced the idea of the capital being not only the economical one, like money or properties, but also social and cultural. For example, elite education or good manners that come with it, or social networks or family connections. Social media is a perfect example of the social capital, where the recognition from others gains through likes, followers, or views. It seems like we're going through the classic trend cycle where first the elites come and bring the trend, then everyone follows, and then trend becomes oversaturated, and elites switch to the next scene, which now seems to be being offline. Many celebrities like Tom Holland or Scarlett Johansson in the recent years have announced that they are going offline and off the social media, while others are precisely being liked for not being part of the online world.
The idea of being very private in a very public job. Jamie, I'll go with you first.
I think it's incredibly easy. I think you can court all that nonsense.
Justin Bieber famously does not have a phone, but he still has a profile on social media, but it's because his team has a phone.
It's not talking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
Like, let's be for real, who can actually afford being offline? Many of us cannot just go offline and not have a phone, because it would mean for us losing our income. Bourdieu saw social capital as something that is determined by class. If someone is born to a rich family, they can have a degree from prestigious university and therefore can get access to high-paid jobs and acquire social and cultural capital. And that's exactly where his theory applies well to the class divide of being online or offline. While schools in the affluent area of Silicon Valley are banning iPads, the normal schools are actually struggling to integrate tech at all, or integrating it more. And the same, like Kardashian are not allowing her kids to be online, even though that's where she made most of her money. Basically, if you're rich, you're getting to experience the benefits of the connection offline, while the rest of us are left to deal with the online brain rot, social media anxiety, and the rising sense of self-alienation from the real-life experiences that, again, influence the younger generation the most. Studies show that we are spending way less time alone than previous generation. In fact, we are spending more time alone than ever since the 1965, since we have data. And that's wild. We live in a paradox where we are the most connected, yet we feel more lonely and anxious. I think with the social networks give us just enough of fulfillment and enough sense of connection that we feel like we're connected, but we're actually not. Because the real fulfillment from connection can only come from a real face-to-face connection and not online. And that keeps us in this loop where we build parasocial relationship at cost of our actual social connections. And I think this is what makes this century antisocial century. And the consequences are way far reaching than one can imagine, as young adults and teenagers are not socializing with each other, and it's built a different kind of society. That loneliness can affect not only our happiness, but our communities, politics, and even our grasp of reality. I'm not sure exactly how to end this video, but I guess one thing is clear, that the rapid growth of the social media in the last 10 to 15 years made us collectively oversaturated with it, and we are all just tired and anxious. So I guess leaving social media completely and being offline or not posting is a rebellious act against the world that feels antisocial by day. And as we all, I think, start seeing similarities between our society and society in Wall-E, or even her with the rise of the AI therapist and friends. But I guess that's the separate video topic. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and go outside, touch grass, and yeah, bye!